Kendrick Olamar before that. So that's quite the win. And of course as well, yeah, like you said, Wiz Hyper and a Divian who's been a really solid player in the Midlands recently.
Yes.
So yeah, Skaws is on a mad run, and it's just so good to see him once more at the top of his game. He's just been, it feels like he's been sort of at this level so consistently for so long, and this is a moment where he's piercing it, and he might just be the drill that pierces the heavens further right now in this game against Azalea. I think they've played before, I think they've got experience in them, but it doesn't really matter. All that matters right now is what you're going to do in this set as we get into our final set before top 8.
Yes, here we go. The final qualifier here for you folks. Skaws and Azalea. Falco and Toon going to be scrapping it out at the moment. Now, this is the scary part, right, about fighting Falco, is that, of course, you know, Taylor's all the time, that combo game, utter ridiculousness, and you can get, you know, those 1-2 openings, and you can take it all the way into the sunset. But, of course, Skaws, very much a master at dealing with fast fallers. His combo game is like no other, and he does such a good job. His advantage state and the way that he combos and puts you in such tricky situations, it's so impressive to see. And at the moment, it has been dead even between these two, not quite getting a strong enough hit there from the up air to get the stock, and that bomb just sailing over the reflector, and we are going to see whether Azalea can get back to stage, continue it. Loving that jump over the boomerang, just managing to get away from Skaws' attempts, these tricks and traps. And we're going to see, bomb to up air, tried and true.
Tried and true, very good. Throwing items out of shield, obviously an incredibly quick option on pretty much every single item's character. It will always be their best option pretty much if they have that item in hand, one in shield, and it is often a very easy punish for moves that are typically very safe. Falco Fair, usually great on shield, but the moment Skaws is holding that bomb, it's a terrible idea all of a sudden, and he is recognizant of that fact. It's interesting as well, you mentioned combo game. Azalea's has a nickel and dime a lot more this stock, and that's because of Toon unique properties. He's heavy, and he's floaty, and it's really annoying. It's really actually hard to do your best combos on Toon. He's also small, of course. He's a tiny little guy, and it's really, really hard to get your fullest extensions. Azalea obviously is fantastic at Falco's combo game, but even he will struggle to maximize percent against Toon because of his unique nature as a character, and it's really serving Skaws so far, who is managing to do more percent, win a bit more from these interactions, and is repeating this ledge trap. Goes a little too low and might eat a lot of percent for it, if not a death. Just about escapes certain peril a few times, escapes all those back airs, and manages to find his way into ledge, manages to find his way out the corner with the bomb throw and resets the situation. Azalea is starting to go for these rising side beats to try and cheese out a stock a little bit, trying to ease out the situation, but he doesn't quite find it. Takes the bomb, avoids the fair F-tilt, and manages to find a down tilt in a perilous situation. Azalea finding the fair for the landing and taking the second stock despite all the odds being stacked against them.
I've really got to commend the composure from both of these players, really just taking their time in disadvantage, even though both these players, I would argue, are two of the strongest players in that advantage state. Just knowing that, you know, picking the lesser of two evils time and time again, because you're not going to get out scot-free. It's a fantasy if you think that is the case, but certainly they are so good at just picking the option that is less worrisome, and eventually they get back to stage, and eventually it is their turn. And at the moment, Azalea very much holding on, not willing to share at the moment, but Skaws grabbing it back. He's doing a really good job at the moment, but the down. Yeah, wow, just about enough there from Azalea.
Yeah. Skaws was playing it really nicely at the end as well. He was falling back and really taking his time with a few of his options, but he got just a little bit too aggressive, and Falco punishes those missteps hard. A lot of the time you'll see a raw down air or a back air, and it'll kind of combo either one or just kill straight up with one. And it is going to seal out your stock quite early. Toon heavy, not that heavy. He's going to be dying out around 117 pretty cleanly at that point, especially with a little bit of rage on Falco's side as well. So yeah, good recognition from Azalea. A little bit, not enough patience from Skaws, and patience is serving him really well, so I hope he hones in on that and taps into that, because Azalea is a player that can sometimes rush things, and it'll be interesting to see how both players evolve throughout the course of the set.
I like the fact that Skaws is laughing and smiling and seems very calm and composed. I spoke to him a little bit after his loss to Joy-Con a little bit earlier on, and I said, how's it all going and how you feeling? And he said, I lost to Joy-Con, but in reality, I feel like I lost more to myself. And I think that's one thing that I've always admired about Skaws' mentality is the fact that he holds himself accountable pretty much all the time. Like, there's no blaming of character, there's no blaming on a bad day. He's just like, you know what, I lost to myself, and he just said, right, well, I've just got to lock in. And lo and behold, here we are. And of course, you know, Azalea has got the exact same thing, and it's so impressive, particularly in, you know, quite a young player as well, to have this sort of stoic mentality and being able to keep this level of consistency has been so impressive to see. And right at the moment, getting 62% unanswered, but Skaws willing to open the door and get a little bit more damage for himself. 32%, but again, they're just taking it in turns at the moment, trying to get that drag down into the up tilt. But like you said, sometimes the raw hits are enough.
Yeah, takes his time with it and reads that run in from Skaws from ledge. Answers it very nicely, and that back is not easy to hit on the land either. Like, it isn't active for that long, so that's really nice timing from Azalea as well, who looks comfortable, I think. I think he looks really composed, and it's not often you actually see that from Azalea. Oftentimes he can actually get pretty stressed, maybe in his own head, but right now he looks really confident, and you love to see it from a player who has always shown that he has the potential that sometimes falls a little bit short. Here he's not falling short at all. Here he is showing his stuff right now as he gets that down smash. It doesn't quite kill. Skaws sent very far, and it's back to the up B. Azalea on the ledge now. Can he find a stock to maybe even up a little bit? Because after that, all he needs is one big combo, and he's back in it.
The Skaws, there we go, getting the jab lock, the dash forward, the dash, jab, dash. I love to see it, just walking Azalea to the stage as far as I can take him, and then just managing to get the turnaround up B as well. Once again, trying to send Azalea off stage, but not quite managing it thus far. The down air, not getting anything, but Azalea, the fact that they can call out these defensive habits in these moments are so good. We've been seeing it here and there. Obviously, the catch on the roll for the first stock and the catch of the air dodge on the second. It's so impressive to see, but of course, Skaws at the moment very much not out of it just yet. 90% here on Azalea, and Skaws making his way back into it.
Yeah, I think Azalea has significantly evolved in the way that he's gone from the absolute combo god, incredible at advantage state, incredible at hitting all of his true confirms, but maybe a little bit haphazard in terms of the way he throws out kill moves, to someone who's really honed in at this point on disadvantage options. He really has started to look hard for where he can find those kill moves. He does not need kill confirms anymore, but Skaws does not need them either, as he catches yet another aggressive side B out of the corner with the up smash, and now it is Toon Link's ballpark. These are the perfect descents for Toon Link if he can get that hit, but Azalea is not handing it over for free right now.
Yeah, Skaws just rolling out of that situation as Azalea was descending, just not even tempting the idea of any kind of mix-up. Oh, and just the double jump away. Azalea betting it all on the up smash, it not quite going there on the platform, just intercepting was Skaws' idea of its advantage state, but the up tilt back air, and yeah, potentially a little bit of suspect DI, but potentially dead. But all things considered, the results.
I think very dead, unfortunately. That is a strong as hell back air, especially up in the air as well. There's no real good DI. And that is the real peril of jumping in front of Falco. You can't do that. We're seeing Skaws manage to evade a lot of options by staying close to the ground with down tilts and F tilts, and I hope he really keeps doing that, because you can't jump in front of Falco. They will up tilt. They want to up tilt. They'll always up tilt almost all the time, because it's safe. It's the best option. They've got no reason not to press it, and so you just have to respect it and play around it well. Skaws can play around it well. We've seen glimpses of it. He just needs to really lock in at this point and make sure he is on point with the way that he's avoiding these kill setups, in particular giving away stuff with a few haphazard air dodges, or maybe not the safest options from the corner. And I feel like he's got some real hope in this set, but Azalea is looking to snuff it out right now, and he's looking to do it in a very precise manner.
I think that's the thing, right? We mentioned a little bit earlier on about how, like, there have been some ups and downs in terms of Azalea's competitive career, but you really couldn't tell from the way that they're playing at the moment.
Yeah.
The fact that there's this element of, like, this calm around his play, and how consistent their combos are, and how well he is at calling out these habits. It's just one of these where it almost feels like Azalea had, you know, just always been like this. It has always been this consistent, always a shoo-in for any top 8, and it's so impressive to see. Just again, what we were talking a little bit earlier about Lugi, and I can say the same with Azalea, just the tightening of the screws, not necessarily reinventing the wheel like we've seen some players do, but more so just really tightening what was already good about their game plan.
Yeah.
But once again, a pretty even stock, all things considered. Skaws trying to throw the bomb down, get something started, but not quite managing to get it just yet. It's very, very delicate, and it's just going to be enough. That updraft, so good from Skaws. Got himself a lead here.
Yeah, really nice combo from Skaws, who is just very recognizant of the way that Azalea is landing right now. Azalea is really landing into him. Azalea is being really aggressive in this disadvantage at the moment, and Skaws tapped into that. Really good answers at the moment, and he's going to keep pushing it. He's going to keep calling out these jumps. Azalea is jumping so much out of shield, and he's going to keep on up tilting. It's just up tilt. It's up tilt conversion, up tilt nair, up tilt there, and at the moment up tilt's the name of the game, and he's using it to its fullest extent. Skaws so patient in his neutral, gets caught out. Great parry from Azalea, another parry from Azalea, who, and second, a third parry from Azalea, who is so reactionary right now and is playing it to his section. Amazing call out with the down tilt running straight in. He's switched on! They're switched on, Joycey!
I was going to say, they're both playing so good, right? The fact that it took those 4-5 attempts from Azalea to get that stock, but Skaws' patience in disadvantage, but again, that relentlessness from Azalea, knowing that eventually I will get this stock, and it is going to work out in my favor. Skaws at the moment, 113% on his opponent, trying to get potentially another updraft, but just instead going for the forward air. That slight delay on the hitbox, so integral, catching the dropping of the shield. We're going to see up B, and there we go, the up throw into down air, trying to reset on the platform. Skaws just getting out of dodge in that situation, but 0% on Azalea. I say that, one little grab, getting a little piece on there, and it seems like Skaws is not quite managing to get the full potential on some of these early percent strings just because of the platform making it so tricky for him to get everything that he wanted. But just look at how Azalea is moving, just sharking, weaving in and out of Skaws' range, and finally gets the kill with the up air at 150%. Dead even at the moment, Zanatti.
Is this a hawk or a falcon? The way he's hunting down his prey is incredible from Azalea. He's always where Skaws wants to be and always honed in on the option to hit him with. And it's just not combos. It's not combos at all. It's not the Falco you've come to expect. It's really good recognition from Azalea right now that is getting him all this percent and it's put him back into this game, and he's really slowing down this neutral as well. He's not jumping into these up tilts anymore. He's taking his time and has put on a lot of percent. 62 to 84, a far cry from what it looks like at the beginning right now. Azalea answering back, but not teching, and that is crucial. Skaws does not miss those.
He shoots these Skaws, as they say, and yeah, very clutch jab block, just being ready for that as well, not necessarily overestimating. There's that temptation at the point where you know it's a tech chase, maybe I'll try and catch the roll in, maybe I'll go for a read instead of what's been working.
Yeah.
And Skaws has been there with the jab blocks each and every single time, and it's been really catching Azalea off guard. We saw it a little bit in the Hollow Bastion game, and we saw it to clutch out that third game. So again, I feel like both of these players are playing extremely well at the moment. It's wild to see that you can see both of their strengths sort of flourishing whilst they're also really putting pressure on, like they're covering each other's weaknesses so well, but they're also making it so hard. It's so wonderful to see, the advantages, they are long, they are tricky. The disadvantages, it is, again, the lesser of many evils each and every time, but they're just here every single time. It's so impressive to see. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
The one thing that's been a little bit scary, especially for Skaws, is a little bit trigger happy with the out of shield currently. It's an amazing get off the tool. It's really fast and it answers a lot of Falco's options really well. But I feel like he's being a little bit too confident with it, overusing it a little bit much. Certainly not overusing his up tilt, though. That is still paying dividends. He's really figured out the sort of answer to Falco's jumps in. But Azalea, to mix that up, is going to start moving in a lot more with dashes. He's going to take his time with it a lot more, and he does so 100% to 100%. Very even between the two players right now. Neither can find an edge guard, really. It's a hard matchup to edge guard in for both players, and they're both taking their time. Azalea tries to get back. There's the bomb. Nah, not quite the kill option that Fair is. Here's another up B. Does it get caught? Yes, but he techs it, and Azalea lives and holds onto this stock. Another down tilt from the corner. He's so confident with those, and they're working out so well. Skaws uses both jumps, takes his time, and F tilt the backwards hitbox takes Azalea's first stock, and he finds it after so many missed opportunities, but Azalea is answering back instantly.
It's so impressive to see, right? The fact that, catching a little bit of suspect DI from Azalea, obviously not expecting to be hit
Never.
in that direction, but then just, again, keeping the composure, going for that back air, taking that stock as well. And I just love, again, it's the rinse and repeats from both of these players, knowing that eventually the kill will arrive. And it's wild because it feels like it's been a really quick set, right? It feels like these games are really going back and forth. But at the same time, you know, they're living to 140, 150%. There's no sort of cheese and even like really low percent stocks. It has just been solid advantage and solid disadvantage from both players over and over again. But Skaws, not sure whether he's got a jump here, going for that air dodge and that back air, just clutch, just saying, get the hell away from me, Azalea. I am not dealing with this.
Yeah, Toon pretty good air drift, but he drifts right into that down air. Azalea finally pulls the trigger on that read, hasn't done it once this set so far, but decides now is the time when all the cards are stacked. When I know he wants to make a comeback, this is the time we're going to down air, and he picks the spot perfectly. Azalea, they are right now forcing it. They are going full throttle, gets down air for the troubles though, instant answer back. Great confront from Skaws, who has lost control and is trying to steadily regain it. It looked so good, he was playing neutral so well, but Azalea has found a chink in the armor, and it really is starting to become difficult for Skaws at 88%. These are kill confirmed percents. This is dangerous.
Yeah, this is where things can get really, really scary. Skaws, very much known to be able to find these little moments here. Again, trying to go for that tech chase, maybe catching the neutral tech, going for the down tilt, tech chase with a dash attack as well. The boomerang just threatening the space around Azalea, just got the bomb, and Azalea, you can just see the fear, just double jumping completely out of the ledge trap there. Up tilt, up air, not quite going to be enough just yet, but the back air, just this spacing from Skaws, the forward tilt from Azalea just to push Skaws off,
no.
and just drop shield that a little bit too early, no resources, and bets it all on Azalea. That doesn't reach, and Azalea makes top 8. You never want to see it like that.
Not the way you want to see it end.
Never want to see it like that.
I hope that Skaws can hold his head up high, because he was performing so well. He just about didn't have the distance on that stair, and it was curtains. That's so unfortunate, because he was looking so good, and I would have loved to see them play out that ledge interaction, because they were really starting to figure out each other. But unfortunately, Toon just falls a little bit short with that hook shot, and it is Azalea who is going to put his name into the upper echelons of our top 8. That is looking so stacked.
It is looking utterly ridiculous, the amount of talent that we have got at this event, and just how the show that they've been putting on, it is just going to continue on and on and on into top 8, and I believe that is our top 8.
It is
solidified. Let me get
all sealed in.
Let's get the bracket up. Let's have a look. See, let's remind you folks about whereabouts we are and who we are going to be seeing. So in the winner's side of things, we are going to be having a tale as old as time. It's been a few years since we've seen this. Lugi and Pelly.
Did you know this is the one player that Lugi didn't want to play? In the whole of the bracket, this is the only player Lugi wants to avoid. The one. Insane that is the matchup he's ended up with.
I mean, hey, Pelly's back, folks. What can we say? On the other side, the two masters of aggression, Askro and Giggles,
that'll be fun.
Going to be on the winner's side of things. Meanwhile, in losers, Azalea and Joy-Kong, who I believe off-stream, but making the Game 5 win against Curry Governor.
Yep.
Those two have been having a bit of a rivalry, bit of back and forth
for sure
in the past few months, and I'm sure we're going to see that continued throughout the year. And then our final set is going to be Ambil and Toe Jam, who managed to make it through both on stream. And that is your top 8, so make sure you do not go anywhere. We are going to have the wonderful, the luscious voices of Foxwell and MR Slap that are going to be taking you from top 8 to top 4. And hey, it's the end of our block, but Zanati, it has been a blast.
It's been incredible. You could not have expected such incredible sets, such high-level gameplay from people that weren't projected to make it this far at all. There have been so many people who have just shown their stuff at potentially the final Team Regen event ever. It feels like kind of a love letter to us, honestly. I've been loving it, and I hope that everyone at home has been loving it as well.
And hey, make sure that you stay tuned. We are going to be back very, very soon with that top 8 bracket. Tell your friends, tell your lovers. It is twitch.tv/Team Regen GG. Top 8 of, as we say, the potential final ultimate event for Team Regen. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned.